What does Freitas need to do?
Well, he needs to get back to his jab. Look at that. That's inexcusable, even for a pro with only 6 pro fights. I think that that what would help Freitas is if he would jab his way in. When you go back to it, it's always effective. Make that 7 pro fights for Acelino Freitas because he just had one in boxing.
Midway point of round 3.
Freitas has been so wild in telegraphing his punches that Guzman has been able to slip most of the big ones.
Brother Luis looking on. I think a big concern with the way his brother is performing right now. Many felt that this would be a quick fight for Acelino.
Well, and Dave felt that. As he told Dave, they really thought he was going to knock him out early. It was a straight right hand after a jab. That's what Freitas needs to get back to.
Another wild punch, a right and left from Freitas. He's throwing more wild pitches than Steve Rainbow Trout.
There's a name for the past. A former Cub, former White Sox.
Former Yankee.
Yeah.
George Steinbrenner telling Gene Michael, I won you the pennant. I just got you Steve Trout.
Well, Steve was a pretty good pitcher for a while.
They went to the Yankees. Closing seconds of round 3. Freitas and Guzman.
Mia Hamm spends ESPN2.
Hilario Guzman throwing his counter left hook as Freitas leaves himself about as wide open as you can in a boxing ring. But Guzman, well, he's a decent counterpuncher, does not have a lot of power.
Round 4 underway in the scheduled 10-round bout. Let's see if Acelino Freitas can get on track. He has never been into the 4th round. He was 21 years of age. And Guzman, who entered Boxino on just 2 weeks' notice prior to the quarterfinals, making a good showing.
The veteran Hilario Guzman, I think, did just enough in the last couple of rounds to take those rounds and try him winning 2 rounds to 1.
I could give round 2 to Freitas, despite the wildness. He was able to get the tough out when he needed it.
Unlike, apparently, Steve Trout when he pitched for the Yankees.
Right hand from Guzman.
He hurt Freitas with that.
Yeah, he did.
I think that Freitas is a young fighter who is a little confused, has been wild, and now is susceptible to getting hit with a big counterpunch as he was there. See, if Freitas would stay with the jab and the straight right hand for a while, it would net him results. He's got great power in that punch, but he gets too wild with all his hooks and those looping right hands. See, even that, he missed with the right hand, but he's setting that punch up a little bit better now. Freitas has really not been tested too much because he's whacked everybody out early, and we're going to see how he responds.
His first 6 pro bouts were all in Brazil. It's a right hand from Guzman, and Guzman enough movement so that Freitas never has a clean target to hit.
You know, veteran John Montantes, who lost to Freitas, didn't do what Guzman did. He didn't get through that first onslaught, and he was knocked out. One wonders what that veteran, who much like Guzman is a very clever veteran, how he would have done against Freitas if he got through that early onslaught. Of course, he didn't.
Concerned brother Luis.
Oh, that hurt him.
Yeah.
Knocked him down.
That is a knockdown.
I think it was not a legal punch, though, Bob. I think it was behind the head.
But the judges don't take that into consideration.
Well, let's see now if Guzman can get through the power of Freitas, and does Freitas have enough technique to not be wild and miss punches like he's doing.
Final seconds of round 4. Another left hand from Freitas, and there's the bell. Al, how would you score that round?
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a tough one to make a 10-8 round for Freitas, but he did do probably enough in that round to make it so. Even though part of that round was very good for Guzman.
We'll get another look.
We will see how that knockdown occurred. It was an overhand right. They were in close quarters, and Freitas will throw a kind of a clubbing right hand here, which I thought maybe landed on the back of the head. We'll see where it landed. Yes, back of the head. Really, it's not a legal punch, but nevertheless, it hit right where you could knock the equilibrium of the fighter off. And that is what happened to Guzman. And that left hook, as he was going down, had a big roll. That might have been the punch that did the damage.
So you did give Freitas a 10-8 round?
I ended up doing it, reluctantly.
If you didn't give him a 10-8 round, you could give him a 10-9 round.
You could, yes, this is true. And I have done that on many occasions, but in this instance I didn't.
Round number 5 underway. But the thing that you have to take from that is that Freitas, although the time in the round was ticking away, didn't really stick to a game plan to try to finish off Guzman. Got very wild again.
And that's been his problem in this bout throughout. And it did show, however, that Freitas still has some power to hurt Guzman.
He's gone by in round 5.
Guzman not doing much offensively at all now.
Freitas just trying to load up with those hooks. Now, you think if Freitas did that jab repeatedly, that he could open this fight up?
Absolutely. I think the jab is very, very, very important for Freitas to set up those other punches and to get the right hand in. Very important for him. Freitas moving a lot here, but it's not, I don't think it's effective movement because he's really not doing too much off that.
There's a couple of jabs and then a right, and then you see him off balance again. It's almost as if he's boxing by form. 2 jabs and then rip off the right, as opposed to, all right, a couple of jabs, maybe even a 3rd or 4th jab might help.
And he's looking to hold on the inside more, is Freitas, even than Guzman is. So Hilario Guzman is not the kind of fighter who will go and take control of a fight, though. He's by nature a boxer, counter puncher.
Right hand from Freitas. Guzman has done absolutely nothing in this round. Up to the end of round number 5. Freitas and Guzman. Semi-final competition in the lightweight division of Boxino. Stay tuned for round 6. Luis Claudio Freitas, who was defeated in the semifinals of the featherweight division tonight by Gerardo Cabrera, watching younger brother Acelino embark upon round number 6, and wild punching of Acelino continues. Although I do believe Acelino Freitas is winning this bout.
Those were shorter punches just a moment ago that Acelino Freitas threw. Made them more compact. They weren't so wild.
Guzman went down in round number 4. Round 2, a swing round. Al felt that Guzman won that round. I thought that Freitas won a very close round. So the scoring will be interesting. Even that 10-8 round, you could make the point that Guzman was winning the round and only give a 10-9 for Freitas.
Very easily. So this one's definitely up for grabs. But Guzman is not doing much offensively. Boy, it's not. It feels like he's not doesn't want to go after this fight. Now Acelino using the jab very effectively to try and set something up. See, and one of those right hands will get there because of that. Guzman is just so tentative in this bout, it's going to be hard for him to win it.
Midway point of round 6. Uncharted waters for the 21-year-old Freitas, never being past round 3 prior to tonight.